Hey guys, so I'm trying to make this video like 4 times, and I keep like rambling, so we'll try to make this shorter. It's like storming a lot right now, so actually I think it stopped at the moment, but it's pretty stormy. I'm in my dad's room, that's why there are surfboards behind me, right there, whatever, right there, in that direction. Um, yeah, so I just watched this documentary called Boy I Am. You can watch it on YouTube. It's fairly well known. I've actually watched part of it before, but never watched the whole thing. So it was very interesting, actually. It was probably one of my favorite documentaries that I've watched so far. Um, there are like people moving around upstairs. So yeah, so I just said real quick. So basically, like the one point that I wanted to talk about was, and they had opposing groups, obviously, and as well, and there was this one woman who said, well, why can't you just be a different kind of girl? And then I felt like that for a long time. It was, I felt, to be honest, I feel like a lot of people who say that feel like, oh, being a trans man, that's easier than being a different kind of girl. But to me, being a different kind of girl is going to be easier than being a trans guy. So for a long time, I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm just a different kind of girl. But I realized I was a different kind of boy. I mean, I'm really femme, honestly. That's just like a part of who I am. I'm super femme. I don't care. It's awesome. I'm super femme. It's just so. I didn't ever feel like a different kind of girl. Really. I think the most I ever identified as a girl is when I identified as lesbian. And even then, I didn't really. I went through like phases where I was like, I don't like that word because it was like very girl. It was very girl. And I didn't know why, but that really bothered me. For a long time, I wouldn't use the word lesbian. I would say gay, or yeah, I like girls. I would say that I like girls. And I have a cold, and it's like hurting my voice to talk this deep, which I do when I can hear myself for some reason. I don't know why, but so I never really felt like a different kind of girl. I always felt like a different kind of boy. Um, and I feel a lot that a lot of times I I kind of like doubted myself because I felt like what I have been shown in society, the right kind of trans people were people who knew at like an early age, who boys who would wear dresses and play with dolls and demand to be called Alexis and grow their hair out. And I was never that. I was never that. And even also, it's a lot easier for um, a female assigned at birth to wear masculine clothes. Oh, she's just a tomboy. She's just a tomboy. Because it's okay to do that. But if a boy starts wearing a dress and growing out his hair, oh, he must be gay. Or he must be trans. So, I think, I mean, I was probably pretty tomboyish, but not because, I don't think it had anything to do with my gender identity. I think it just had to do with the fact I like to play outside. And I couldn't really wear dresses outside. Actually, I did wear dresses a lot. My grandma sewed them for me. And they were awesome. And I'm really glad I know a lot of people say, oh, I wish I was born in a male body. And I feel like that a lot. But if I was born in a male body, like what society sees in a male body, I would not have a lot of parts of my childhood, which I cherish a lot. And I'm glad I got to experience. Like my grandma making me dresses. They were so ridiculous, but I loved them. And they were mine. Nobody else had them. They were mine. And I rocked them. I was awesome. I had like these big glasses. They were like this. And I was like in first grade. And I had long blonde hair. I'm glad I got to live like that. I'm glad I got to live like that. I'm glad, because if I was a boy, I couldn't do that. Not if I was born a boy. If I was born with a penis, basically, Because you can't be born a boy or a girl, to be honest. Because the way society sees gender, you're not born with that. Let's be honest. And I'm glad that I got to experience those things. And I feel like a lot of people, when I come out to them, my family, they're gonna feel like I hated them for that. They're gonna feel like, oh, I should have seen these things, or I feel like they're gonna blame themselves a lot. But and I try to remember that, to remind them that I don't really remember like hating my childhood, like people telling me I was a girl all the time. I don't really remember that. I actually get called a girl more now than I did when I was little. So maybe I notice it more. I don't even know what this video is about. So yeah, basically, like, there was also this part where they're talking about, oh, younger people like 18 and 19 getting access to surgery and hormone, and like, and how they're so young, and someone said that, oh, when I was 19, I wasn't comfortable with my body either, you know. And they also said something about how, like, oh, I hadn't had sex, so I guess that relates to your body. And being gray A, that really pissed me off, honestly. I feel more comfortable with my body since I, like, stopped having sex. So, or since I, like, didn't act on other people's desires and not my own. Yeah, so okay, when I found out that I was just a different boy, when I was like, oh, maybe this is me, since I've, like, come out, since I've started this journey or something, it's like when you find your car keys and you're, like, freaking out. You're like, oh my god, I'm never gonna be able to drive again, I'm not gonna be able to go anywhere, I'm locked in this house forever, you know, you're, like, just, like, irrational fear of everything. And you're searching and you're searching and you're going through every place last, and you're going through them 3 times, and then all of a sudden you're in the place that you knew you looked, but you didn't really. You thought you did, but you didn't. And just, like, for a minute, it feels like you are holding the world on your shoulders, and you're like, I'm a boss. That's how you feel. You just feel amazing. Like, you're like, I am God. That's what you feel like. Because you found your car keys. It seems so simple. And that's how I felt. You just feel like, in that minute when you find your car keys, that is what it feels like. And that's what I feel like a lot of the time. Except when I'm feeling dysphoric, obviously. So for the most part, I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like that. And, towards my gender at all. Towards my body, yeah, a little bit uncomfortable. But it doesn't even have anything to do with I think a lot of my dysphoria from my body and stuff comes from society. Like how, like, I have more social dysphoria than I do body dysphoria. Which is very interesting, I think. So, I don't know, that comment kind of made me laugh. Because now that I've come out, and now that I've realized, and now that I'm making, like, that I'm transitioning socially more, I feel more comfortable than I ever did. And yeah, I do still want top surgery, and yeah, I still want hormones. And it's just a journey. Like, anybody can say that about anything. And another thing is, I find it very funny when feminists say this. And they say, oh, well, they're too young to make a choice. First of all, if you're an adult, if you're legally an adult, you can't pick and choose what someone can do. Fuck. I mean, you're like, oh, well, at 18, you can have breast implants, but you can't take out your breast, sorry. That's not okay. Like, I want to modify my body. To be honest, especially my top surgery, I don't see that as my gender transition. I just see that as a body modification because I'm very interested in body modification as far as tattooing and piercing and scarring and scarification and branding and everything. I find it very interesting, and it's something that I want to do or get things done to me. And I see that more as that. I see removing my breast as something that would make me feel like that is supposed to be me. That is how I'm supposed to look, and that's going to make me feel more comfortable with myself. Like, to be honest, I get surprised when I look in the mirror and I have breasts. I'm like, oh shit, that's me? What? What happened? I'm like, are these like pillows? What's happening? Like, that's how I feel. I like forget, to be honest. So how I see myself in my head is not how I look. And I guess that's why I've never had like this big like towards like top surgery, because I've always just been very like, yeah, that's what I want. I've been very calm about it. I've been very content about it, and I was just like, yes, that's what I want. And I've seen it more as like body modification for me. Maybe that's why. I mean, technically it's all body modification, but I see that more as like not part of my gender transition, I guess. I don't know why I really separate them. I don't really understand either. But yeah, so I guess that's all I'm going to talk about. Also I want to add to that. It has a lot to do with also like reproductive rights. Like, you know how they say like, oh, which I agree with. Like, anyone who like can carry a baby. Excuse me. Can carry a baby. It's in their body. It's their body. It's their choice. It's my body. It's my choice. I keep coughing. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about. This video is so long and probably really bad. Sorry. I like really hurt my voice. Now I'm hurting. But yeah, so that's what I've talked about. I'm kind of like smiley today, aren't I? Tell you guys about that later. Yeah, so that's all I have to talk about. I think this video is really bad. But yeah, that's all I have to talk about. And now I'm probably gonna drink water because my throat hurts really bad. Probably make another video sometime tonight because I'm not tired. Alright, so I guess later tonight or something. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna turn off this video now. Yeah. The next one will be better, I promise.